Lady Capulet responds to Juliet's big plea by saying, you know what, if thou finds means, if you find a way to kill Romeo, I will find the right man for the job. And then she says, you know what, but I have joyful tidings to give you. Juliet says, you know what, joy comes well in such a needy time. We could use joy in a time like this. What do you have to tell me? Please tell me. And Lady Capulet says, well, thou hast a careful father, child, the one who, to put thee from thy heaviness, has sorted over some day of joy, that thou expectest not, nor I look not for. Your father has arranged some sort of happy moment, happy day. Juliet says, in happy time, what day is that? And then she says, marriage. Next Thursday, you are going to marry the gallant young and noble gentleman, Paris, at St. Peter's Church. He will happily make you a joyful bride. And Juliet says, now by St. Peter's Church and Peter too, he shall not make me there a joyful bride. I wonder at this haste that I must wed, ere he that should be husband comes to woo. So basically, like, I haven't even talked to Paris. If he is since the dance there, right? Like, if he wants to marry me, he can come woo me. He can come talk to you. I pray you tell my lord and father, madame, I will not marry yet. And here again is her wit on display. And when I do marry, I swear it shall be Romeo, who you know I hate, rather than Paris. These are news indeed. So basically, she's twisting these words here, saying, you know what, I would rather Romeo, who you know I hate, my hateful enemy, than get married to Paris, right? I would rather not get married at all, is what she is basically saying to Lady Capulet in a clever way. And then Lady Capulet says, well, here comes your father, you can tell him now. And then Lord Capulet enters with a nurse. Capulet, he says, when the sun set, the air doth dizzle dew. Basically, it's time to get on with it. The next day is here, but when it rains, it pours, right? Everybody's still sad. And he says, what are you doing, girl? Why are you still crying? Why are you still in tears? Are you showering forever? In one little body thou counterfeits a bark, a sea, a wind. So I didn't think a little body like yours could cry so much. And then he makes reference to everything that she's doing. You seem to be like a ship. The sea is like your tears. Your howling and your moaning is like the wind. You're like a ship to me. Sailing in this salt flood, right? Your tears have created a flood. Why are you still crying, is what he's saying. And then she says, what about, he says to his wife, have you delivered our decree? Have you told her that she's going to get married? And Lady Capulet says, aye, sir, but she will not. She gives you thanks. I would the fool were married to her grave. So basically, Lady Capulet says, if she doesn't want to get married, she can go die, right? She can marry her grave, which is something that Juliet actually said before when they were trying to figure out the little marriage meeting here, or marriage arrangement between Juliet and Romeo. So Shakespeare here plays with those words again, another allusion to love and death. And Capulet says, soft, take with me, you take me with you, wife. So he said, like, hold up a sec. She's not going to get married. She does not give us thanks. She's not happy. She's not proud. She's not blessed. Unworthy as she is. So basically, now he's pissed. He's saying Juliet's not even worthy to marry such a gentleman like Paris. And then she said, not proud, I'm not proud or happy what you've done, but I am thankful, right? Like, I appreciate what you've done to me. I can never be proud of what I hate, so I don't want to get married. I can't be proud of that, but I am thankful for what you've done. Now Capulet, he's starting to lose it a little bit here. He says, how? Chopped logic, right? Like, you make no sense. What is this? Proud, and I thank you, and I thank you not, and yet not proud. Mistress Minion, you thank me, no thankings, no proud me, no prouds. But Fettle your fine joints gainst Thursday next to go with Paris to St. Peter's Church. Basically, I don't care what you have to say. You are going to be in that church on Thursday, and you are going to get married to Paris, or I will drag thee on a hurdle thither. So basically, like saying, you know what, I'm going to drag you there. If you aren't, you green sickness carrying out, you baggage, you tallow face. He's saying you're worthless, you're a bug, you're gross, you're disgusting. So he's going pretty hard on Juliet, and she's like, Lady Capulet is like, Fi, like what are you doing? Like, are you crazy? Um, you, come on, think it things through here. She says, good father, I beseech you, so I beg you on my knees, I plead with you, just be patient and let me speak. And Capulet, he's not having any of it. He says, hang thee, young baggage, disobedient wretch. You know what, screw you, basically, is what he's saying. I tell thee what, get thee to church on Thursday, or never look at me again. Speak not, reply not, do not answer me. So he's not even waiting for Juliet to give an answer back, right? He's saying, you know what, I don't care. You're going to do what I say, and you're going to listen to me whether you like it or not. Speak not, reply not, do not answer me. My fingers itch, wife, we scarce through us blessed that God had lent us but this only child. But now I see this one is one too much, and that we have a curse in having her. So basically, he's saying that like it seems that maybe Capulet and Lady Capulet have had trouble having kids. They were happy and blessed when they got one, and now he's saying, you know what, this one is too much. She's actually a curse instead of a blessing. And the nurse says, God in heaven bless her. You are to blame, my lord, to rate her so. You're wrong, basically, to say that to her. And Capulet says, oh, here's Lady Wisdom, right? Like, shut up, hold your tongue. Spatter with your gossip, right? Like, so the nurse likes to talk a lot. She probably has a lot of friends that she gossips with. Capulet just basically says, shut up. And the nurse says, you know what, I haven't done anything wrong. I speak no treason. And he's like, oh my God, shut up, please. And then she's like, may I not speak? Can't I say anything? And Capulet says, peace, you mumbling fool. Utter your gravity over a gossip's bowl, for here we need it not. So no, I don't care what you have to say right now. And the Lady Capulet says, you are too hot, okay? Like, you're like way too upset about this right now. Capulet says, God's bread, it makes me mad. Day, night, hour, tide, time, work, play, alone in company still, my care hath been to have her match. So basically, I've done everything in my power to find her a good husband, to make sure she's cared for the rest of her life. And now, having provided a gentleman of noble percentage, our fair demness, youthful and nobly trained, stuffed, as they say, with honorable parts, proportion as one thoughts would wish a man. So basically saying, you know, he's good looking, he's young, he's educated, he's full of all these good qualities that any woman would want, then this wretched pulling fool, so this idiot who's crying, whining, and saying, oh, me, blah, talking about how luck and love and everything isn't in her favor, and she says, you know what, I can't get married, I am too young, and he says, you know what, you're fine, I don't care if you do what you want. You don't need to get married. I'll pardon you. But you know what? Raise where you will. You shall not house with me. Basically saying, you know what? If you don't want to get married, fine. But you're not living here with me anymore. I'm going to kick you out. I don't want you around. And he says, Thursday is near. I lay hand on heart advice. So basically, like, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to my advice. If you aren't in that church Thursday, if I can't give you away to my friend, I don't care what happens to you. You can hang, you can beg, you can starve, you can die in the streets. I'll never acknowledge thee, nor what is mine shall never do thee good. So basically, I won't break this promise. I'll not be forsworn. Believe me, mark my words. You're out of the house if you don't get married. And then Capulet storms out, and Juliet says, is there no pity sitting in the clouds that sees into the bottom of my grief, basically saying, can no one see my pain? And then she turns to her mother, you know what, she says, delay this marriage for a month, a week, please, just like give me some time, and if you won't, make my bridal bed in that dim moment where Tybalt lies, basically saying my wedding bed will be where Tybalt lies, aka the grave. And Lady Capulet says, you know what, don't talk to me, I'm done with this. I don't want to get involved. You do what you think's best for you. She leaves, and then the Juliet turns to the nurse and says, oh, nurse, how shall this be prevented? My husband is on earth, my faith in heaven. Basically saying, what should I do? And then she says, what sayest thou? Have thou not a word of joy? Some comfort, nurse. So she turns to the nurse, her confidence says, what should I do? And the nurse says, here's what I would do. Romeo is banished, and all the world to nothing. So basically, he's not coming back. He will never be with you, or if he does, he needs to do it stealthily. He needs to hide. So basically, your marriage to him is dead. I think it's best that you married Paris. He's a lovely gentleman. Romeo's basically a dishcloth compared to him. and he's not really, he's nothing compared to Paris. And then she's saying, you know what, I think you should get married to Paris. And Juliet says, is this what you speak from your heart? This is what you believe to be true? And she says, from my soul too, this is what I believe. Amen. What? Well, that has come from me. So she's saying, you know what, you have given me good counsel. Thank you. Go tell my mom that I'm going to Friar Lawrence's cell. I've displeased my father. I'm going to make confession and be forgiven. Nurse says, okay, she leaves, and then Juliet says, ancient damnation, O most wicked fiend, is it more sin to wish me thus forsworn, or to dispraise my Lord with that same tongue, which she hath praised him with him above, compare so many thousand times. So basically she's saying, you know what, it was good counsel. I'm going to do the exact opposite of what the nurse wants me to. You know what, and I will never talk to her again. I will never tell her how I'm feeling, because she's betrayed me right now. She's told me to forget Romeo when she said so many nice things to him. And then she said, you know what, I'll go to the friar to know his remedy. If all else fail, myself have power to die. So she says, you know what, I'm going to go to the Friar Lawrence. Maybe he can give me some advice. Hopefully he can help me out. If not, I still have the power. I still have the authority to take my own life, to kill myself, if everything else doesn't work out. And that ends Act 3, where our play has really now picked